Hey everyone, Mr. Smith here. I know it's been a while, had a lot of stuff going on the past couple of weeks, but I now have the time to do a couple of videos, and right now we're in fractions, so I decided let's go ahead and let me get you guys caught up in our fraction lessons. So, fractions. Fractions, like decimals, represent a part or parts of a whole. A fraction is broken into two major components: a numerator, which is the number shaded or in some cases unshaded parts of the whole, and the denominator, the total number of pieces needed to make one whole. So we're going to look at the following fraction here. 3/4. So this number here is our numerator. That tells us how many shaded parts of the whole there are. Or in some cases it could be the unshaded part, like I mentioned. This number down here is the denominator. So, like I said, the total pieces needed to make one whole. So, is here it says which number represents the number of pieces we already have. 3. And as I mentioned, this makes the number the numerator of the fraction. Which number represents the total number of pieces to make a whole? That would be 4 pieces. It says in the denominator 4, so that means in this whole, whatever shape it could be, there are 4 pieces. This would be the denominator. So, that's a general idea of what a fraction is consisted of. This is kind of like a 3rd grade review, only now I'm going to show you 3 types of questions. One's going to be a 3rd grade review. Another one is going to be kind of an in-between between 3rd and 4th grade. And then number 3 is going to be a true 4th grade problem. So first one and number 1, it says, Jacob has 5 chores to complete before he can watch TV. So far, he has completed 3 of them. Write a fraction that represents this situation. So, he's got 5 chores to complete, and so far, he has completed 3 of them. Well, to make this fraction, you're going to need your fraction bar first. So, in all, before he's done, he has to do 5 chores. That means the 5 is our denominator, because 5 chores to complete his tasks. That's his whole, is completing the task. He has 5 chores to complete that task. And so far he's completed 3 of them, so that means he's done 3 out of 5 chores, or 3/5 of his chores. That's what they used to be doing in 3rd grade. They'd be given those parts and they had to create the fraction themselves. Now, here's where it kind of comes in between. There's a little bit of a curveball in number 2. Mary has made a batch of 12 cupcakes. Over a 4-day period, 7 of the cupcakes have been eaten. Write a fraction to represent how many cupcakes have not been eaten. Well, there's a batch of 12 of them. 7 have been eaten. So that means 7/12 of the cupcakes have been eaten. But if I say 7/12, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the amount that has not been eaten. So right now what I have told the kids to do is you start with 7 and you count to 12. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's 5 out of 12 cupcakes that have not been eaten. And you'll see this more specific in the next video. If I have to, I will draw a model to prove this. I'm going to cut my model into thirds, split my thirds in half, and then do this across. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 7 of them have been eaten. So the unshaded ones, which I said, like I said back in the parentheses, or in some cases unshaded, the unshaded part is what we were looking for. And there are 5 unshaded pieces, so therefore 5 out of 12, 5/12. That's kind of like a betweener. That's kind of like an advanced 3rd grade problem, kind of a intermediate 4th grade problem. Now, number 3 is the trickier of the two. Mr. Johnson has a garden composed of several sections of flowers. So I'm going to put this over here on the side. 2 of them are daisies, so 2 sections of the garden are daisies. 3 sections of the garden are tulips, so I'm going to need that. 3 are tulips. And another 5 sections are roses, so 5 of them are roses. Write the fraction that represents the number of sections that are either daisies or roses. Now, unlike problems 1 and 2 where you were given a denominator, in 4th grade, you sometimes have to find the denominator yourself. So, what is my denominator? The idea here is you need to add these numbers together to get your denominator. So 2 plus 3 is 5, and then 5 plus 5 is 10. That's my denominator. But it says write the fraction that represents the number of sections that are either daisies or roses. We do not care about the tulips. So in this case, we are going to combine those two numbers together. 2 plus 5 is 7. So according to this, 7/10 of the sections are either daisies or roses. I do want to stress one thing, because I had students asking me this in the past. Doesn't matter which way you write the fraction. In all honesty, it does not. As long as you identify which part is the numerator, which side is the denominator, which side is the numerator, which side is the denominator. You could write it any one of those 2 formats. And here is how you do basic fractions. So if you have any questions, please contact me on Class Dojo or contact me at the school, and I will gladly help you out further. On to the next part.